Hey guys, welcome to the third part of this amazing login system with OTP verification through email, and we have been able to pull out and be able to get a very nice and beautiful OTP verification code. Before we get started, if you have yet not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do also subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you won't be missing anything right here. Now this is what we got when we submitted our OTP, and it is actually not looking nice. So today, professionally, we're gonna make sure that the OTP design is well structured. So with no further ado, let's get started. So first of all, we have to go back to our project, and let's go back to the OTP form, right? Let's go back to the OTP form. So in here, where we have the send OTP, that is where we're going to modify so that we add our new template we have. So first thing first, we have to create a string of HTML template. So just going to say string. Now let's call this HTML template, right? Like template, right? Just like that. And then we will assign it to we will use the @ sign to convert this to an acceptable HTML string, right? So in here, that is where we would love to add our HTML code at, right? So we start by declaring the doc type. So we're just going to say doc type, right? Just like this. And then we said HTML. So right in here, you can probably choose whatever you want to choose, and that should be fine. And we should have the head, and we have the style. Yes, we need the style, and then we will start doing the style, right? But let's just end the style. We should have the style ended, and then we have the head ended, and then the body, and then the HTML ended, right? That is the end tag. So the HTML ended, right? So now what we will do is we will start keeping up, making sure we do everything so that the code is going to be well organized. So let's head straight to the design structure so that things will be probably good to go. Now inside the head tag, we would inside the head, we will just have to end the head, add the closing tag for the head, so that we can code inside the head tag, right? So inside the head tag here, this is what we're probably going to do. We're just going to call in a title. So just going to say title, and inside the title in here, we're just going to give it a title called your OTP code, right? Your OTP code. Then after that, that is probably going to be inside the head, but let's just add a metadata. Yeah, we just add a meta, just like that. So now after that, after the head, we go inside the style, and inside the style, we don't need this here. So inside the style, that is where we start adding the body. We will just add the body and then the HTML here. And inside this styling, we're just gonna add a margin. We set it to 0. Padding, we set it to 0, and then we add a font family that is going to be we're not going to use area, we're just going to use let's probably use Sergio UI, like this, right? Just going to use Sergio UI, and alright, let's just use the normal font family, sans serif. That's fine, that's fine. So let's just set a background color. So this color is probably going to be let's use like F4, like this. And also let's use a color as well. So the color probably going to use this 333, right? So let's just indent this and then get it right. Perfect. So now since we have this, we could go ahead and then add one for our email container. So we're going to use email container. So we're just going to call this email container. right? So inside the email container we have a width. We're not going to use width in this case, but we will be using max width, and that is going to be 600. Yeah, it's good. We have a margin. The margin we're just going to use 4 pixels, and we set it to auto, just like this. And then we would have we wouldn't have to use a padding, but we will just use we will not use boxed shadow, but we use a background color that should probably be this FF, right? And then we will not use a border radius. I don't know. Okay, let's use border radius and set it to like 8 pixels. That is good. Like 8 pixels. We will need a box shadow, which is, let's set this to 2 pixels, and then set this to 8 pixels, right? And then we will use RGB colors with a transparency of opacity. Now after that, we need to create another one for a header, right? So I'll just call this header, just like this. With a header, I'll set a new background color that is going to be a background, and this background is going to be linear gradient. I'll set this to 135, and I'll set this to let's see this. I'll just set this to 6B 4E FF, right? And I'll just add a 0% opacity, and then I'll just add 9F 6 3FF. Then we set it to 100%, just like this, right? So after this, we have the color, and then we have a padding. Let's just set the padding to 20. That is fine. And we'll just add a text align, right? So we just say text align. We align it to the center. Now the next thing we're probably going to do is we will just add we have already added a header, right? So let's add a header with h1. So dot header, which is h1. We will just specify with the h1, we will only specify the font size, which is, we could probably use 24, and then we will set the margin to 0, and then let's add a font weight to bold, or let's just say 600. That is good. So that is good. Let's see what we have here. Alright, so now after this, let's try and add a content, right? So we're just gonna set this to content, right? The content of the thing which we are assigning it to the paragraph. So we will need a margin. We will need a margin. So the margin is probably going to be 0, 0, and then 15 pixels, right? And then after the margin, we would love to add a line height, and let's set this to 1.5. That is really good. That shouldn't be all. We would add another one. I'll just try and provide you the source code. So the main content is probably going to be the main content. We'll just add a margin, and we set it to like 15 pixels. But before that, let's set it to 0. That is fine. And let's see the text align. We just set the text align and do that. We only need text align. We'll just set the text align to 1.5, right? And yeah, that's pretty it. Yeah. Now we have to style the OTP as well. We have to style the OTP as well. I don't know if I can really format this. Let's see. Format. I don't know. I don't think I can format this as well, but that should be fine. You can code this in Sublime or any HTML editor, and you'll be good. So let's add .otp code. So that is going to be the OTP code design. And inside here, what we're probably gonna do is we will set the display to inline block. And then the next thing is going to be the font size. So the font size is going to be 36. Yeah. And then after the 36, we have the font weight. Let's make it like bold. Right. So then we have the background color. And the background color, we should probably set it to F0, F0, F0. Perfect. Now let's set a border radius with 6 pixels, right? And after the border radius, we add a padding to this. With a padding, let's just set it straight to 10 and 20. That's fine. And let's add a margin to this, right? So the margin, we're just going to set it up to 20 pixels and then 0. That's fine. And let's add a letter spacing. So with the letter spacing, I'm just going to set it to 10 pixels, just like this, right? So basically, this is just a styling I'm literally adding, nothing really more, right? Nothing really more. So the last one I probably prefer to add is like a footer design. That's fine. So let's add a footer here. So the footer, we're just going to set a background color. So we set a background color. And then the background color is probably going to be, let's use the F0, no, let's make it FA, right? So good. That is really good. Now let's add a padding to this, making it like, 10 pixels. Then we just add text align. We center it. Then we add a font size to around 12 pixels. That's good. And then we add a color to this, and we set the color to 888. Now finally we're done. So we go inside the body, and let's add a closing tag for the body. Right. So inside here, inside the body, that is where we're going to add a body code, right? Sorry. So inside the body, okay, so I think we have the head, which is this, and then let's see how this is probably going to go by. So we have the body. So inside the body, we're just going to add a div. Then we assign the class to it, and this class is going to be email container, right? Email container. So we need this class to be email container. Right, let's edit this in VS Code, then let's just bring it back right in there, right? So we probably do that. So yeah, let's just edit it in VS Code. So I have VS Code. I'll just open VS Code, and I'll just create a new page, and I'll just paste it in here, right? So here I'll just save this as template, right? So I'll just open it in a live server just to see how it's gonna appear. So this is it. Let's see if we can find something. Let's try and format this document. We have the footer, we have the body. So let's do this. We have an email container. That is really good. So after the container, we need to add a div for the header. I mean, we have even styled this up. So let's go back to the design, and let's see how it appears. So this is how the OTP code is gonna be. So I'll just reformat it like that. So I have everything like this. Let's see how it's gonna be. So this is it. So you would have your OTP code inside here like this. Hello, choose your OTP code and all that. So since we are done in here, I'll be giving you the codes as well. You can also use AI to generate any of them. That should probably be good. So now let's go back inside here, and then we will just have to paste it right in here, save it up, And now you just add in your information back again, and yeah, let's test it. Let's test it right away. So I'll easily click on the start button, and this is probably gonna start it for me. But before I do that, I'll probably go to the login, and I'll make sure I delete this OTP verification code which came. I'm just gonna delete it. That is fine. So let's go back in here, add our email, right? Then we add our password. Then I click on login. There you go. So we have an OTP message sent. Okay, so we're waiting for the OTP, and I guess we got in the OTP verification here. So let's just click on that, and well, the OTP didn't, I mean, it didn't took effect. The reason why it never came was that, well, we have to assign the OTP to the message body, right? We still passing in the message body from here. So what we probably gonna do is we assign it to the HTML template, right? We will just assign it to the HTML template we created, just like that. That is the only thing, right? So we will just say message dot is body HTML. Let's set it up to true. That's all, and let's start it again, right? And this time I'll just go in there and then delete it again. I'm just gonna delete it, right? Then I'm just gonna go in again. Then I enter my password. Right. Excellent. So now I have my OTP verification sent to me, waiting for that. So let's just see the new email we've got. And there you go. So we've got this, but we are still missing the OTP, right? We're still missing the OTP. So we probably have to pass in the OTP code, right? We probably have to pass in the OTP which was generated. So you can just go ahead and then, use it, and fix it up, and you get the OTP from here. I don't really want this video to be very long, so thank you guys for joining me on this video. I'll be putting the source code in the comments in the description below, so you can have access to it. All right, thank you very much, and have a nice day.